January 13th, 2020. I hope everyone's doing well. What is really going on in the world today? From my perspective, what I see in this world is there are people who are trying to divide us, obviously. And one side of the division wants us to go to the left, or the left side of the brain, which is the ego, the lower animalistic side, the ego, really. And then there's another group of people who want us to go to the right side, heart-centered, right side, casting thy net to the right, manifesting source love into this world. Now, and all of those have different divisions in them. So there's a lot of manipulation. But ultimately, the way to see through all this stuff is go within your heart. Your heart, your intuition, your God-given ability to sense things and see what's going on is your greatest ally. Connecting to God within, to source. That's your true power. That's our power. And that's exactly, once you do that, you see exactly what these people are doing on the left especially. They're trying to get you out of that power. You know, you have to fit into a box. You know, when you go to school, they have you tested and tested and tested over and over again and regurgitating information like a machine. When you graduate, they put you in a cap that's a box. When you get out of school, when you're growing up, you're watching TV on a box. It's about putting us in a box, confining us, instead of being out in nature with creativity, with natural beauty that's everywhere around us. The people on the left, and I love everyone, first and foremost. Let me get that out of the way. I genuinely, from the center of my being, from my source-derived love, I love all of you, every one of you, no matter what. I love you. My ego may not agree with a lot of you, and that's fine. We're allowed to do that. But I will never say you can't say this, you can't do this, you're not allowed to do that. I'm not in control of you, and you're not in control of me. I'm in control of what I think and feel, and how I live physically. So anyone who's trying to control how you think and feel, that's what you look out for. Say, no, you're not in charge of me. I don't need you to be in charge of me. Now, we've been taught to not be able to think for ourselves and doubt ourselves and fear things, which then makes people want to be controlled. And I see a lot of that still going on today. People driving around their cars with muzzles on, grocery shopping with muzzles on. A lot of stuff we're better than this, guys. We're far more powerful than a bug. And the whole germ theory and trying to make us fear little bugs, all it's doing is making you lower your vibration in fear, which then allows your body to be out of balance, which then what we call sickness. So when you know your power and you live in that heart-centered love, you automatically take care of yourself. I love my temple, so I'm not going to drink alcohol. I love my temple because it is my portal, if you will, or my vessel to bring forth source energy, love. So I'm not going to feed it meat, carcass. I'm not going to feed it GMOs. I will not feed it poison. I feed my body life-giving nutritional food. Food for my thoughts, food for my emotions, food for my vessel. I mean, it happens naturally. Once you start doing these things and you go within, it all makes sense. That being said, the news is very powerful. The Hollywood is very powerful. The media, social media, they're using this. I mean the out of balance egos, are using this to manipulate your subconscious to make you think things that they want you to think so that you can manifest it for them. Because when you're living in the ego, the left hemisphere of your brain, disconnected from God, you can't manifest. You don't have that power, and you don't have that intuition. So you rely on technology and things. When you're in that heart-centered connection to source, accessing things through your right mind, casting thy net to the right, as Christ says, you don't get sick, you're healthy, you're abundant, you are manifesting beauty, you know things that most people won't know. It's incredible. It's a superpower. Raising your Kundalini energy, your Christ oil in your body, by not damaging it by the poisonous foods that we have around us and the poisonous air and et cetera, et cetera. So there's a big divide in the world right now trying to get you on the left or right hemisphere and out of the heart. And ultimately, that's what it comes down to. So whenever you're watching people on TV or the news, I would recommend not even turning that stuff on. But if you choose to, listen to your heart first. Say, you know what, this person feels like they're trying to divide me. Or this person seems like they're trying to get me to hate someone. There's no need to hate anyone. The only enemy we have in this world is ignorance. It's the only enemy. If you do not know something, a lot of people fear it. People who are more centered in themselves, when you don't know something, you get excited to learn from it. Learn from God in your heart to figure it out. It's an exciting new mystery. Other people who are living in their left hemisphere of their brain, disconnected from God in their heart, they fear it. They don't know what it is. They don't know that they have access to that knowledge inside of them. So right there, you can explain all this stuff and see who's where, who's trying to manipulate, who's trying to help. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people trying to manipulate in this world because we were damaged from birth, vaccinated, injected with poisons, circumcision, clipping the umbilical cord before it's ready, before the placenta nutrients drain into the body. There's more to it than that, but every level, entertainment now, religion, education, government, food, air, water, music going to 440 hertz instead of 432 hertz. Every level had to be manipulated. And that's why you still see so many people not getting it yet. They will very soon. But it's up to them. You can't make anybody do something. That's infringing on free will, which is a universal law. We have free will as a right. A right that, I don't even want to call it a right. It's there. There's no getting rid of it. And if you try to, the universe is going to work against you and correct you. And that's how it works. So if your free will is to infringe on others' free will, the universe you're not going to do that. You can do it for a minute, but it's going to catch up to you. Karma will catch up. And that's what we see with these people that have been infringing on our rights. They've been dancing a line subtly, trying to dance with the subconscious and infringe on free will by getting us to choose to do something. They manipulate. That's what magic, that's what hypnosis, that's what all that's about. Knowing who you really are. I know who I am. I am source. Source-derived love manifesting into this world through this vessel that you see. That's me. That's who I am. That's who I've always been. At times you forget it because the ego, the left hemisphere of the brain, says, let's do this, let's do that. But ultimately, you are heart, right side, casting that net to the right, manifesting a peaceful, beautiful world. So I'm going to post this everywhere. I know a lot of social media are being blocked. And literally, I don't know if you guys watch movies, but if you watch Harry Potter or read the books, even better. I haven't read the books, but I've watched the movies. But my girlfriend read the books, and she said they're way better. And I know from a lot of books I've read, there's a lot more detail than the movies. Harry Potter, they talk about what's going on in the world right now. That's why it resonates with us. That's why we get it. Or Lord of the Rings, or Star Wars. A lot of these movies have truth. There's that out-of-balance ego trying to enforce control over free will, and then there's good guys who want to go within the heart and have abundance and create beautiful worlds. So, we've been watching it for a long time. The trick is knowing who is doing what. Now, if you watch the mainstream media, the news, their goal is to make you think that the good guys are opposite and the bad guys are opposite. They're trying to reverse it. It's a mirror image. So they'll say Trump's bad, and they'll say the conservatives are bad, and the Trump supporters that's what they try to say. And on the other side, they'll say people, the liberals who are trying to force people and silence people to do things are good. And that's complete opposite of what's going on. So use your heart, use your right brain if you choose, and see through all this nonsense. We're going to clean this up real quick. As soon as the truth is known, we choose, then you have the right, you have a level playing field for everyone to choose from. So I wish you all well. I genuinely love you from the core of my being. I always have, and I always will. And we don't need anything outside of us. We don't need injections. We don't need synthetic chemicals. We don't need unharmonious vibrations to change our frequency. You don't need anyone to tell you what to do. When you think for yourself and you live in your heart, you are in command of your vessel. I love you all. Please be well. and I'll see you in the next one.